Hello, everybody. Welcome to this monthly lottery reading. If you're interested in joining the next lottery, please read the description. And if you are one of my supporters already, thank you so much and good luck to you. What we do here is we basically pick one person randomly who is going to receive a reading this month. And this is going to be a freestyle reading, which is available at any tier. So if you are interested in trying it, feel free to check out my website and see what tiers are available. So, I think we have the winner right here. Let's see. And the reading is for Andrea. Congratulations, Andrea. And let's get to your reading. All right, now, Andrea. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pull one card that is going to give us some guidance on what this reading should be about, what the cards would like to speak to you about. So that's basically gauging the direction of this reading with the help of the cards. So if you ever want a reading from me but you're not sure what to ask or where to even start, I think the freestyle reading is a good choice, because there we are completely relying on the tarot to lead the way. And sometimes, especially in complex situations, that's a very convenient and comfortable thing. So Andrea and everybody else who's watching along with us, let's see what the topic of today's reading is going to be. Okay. And I'm just gonna put the rest of the deck here for now while we have a look at the Significator. Okay. And your card is the Fool. Now, the Fool is a Major Arcana card, and it's a very special one because it's the very first in the Major Arcana. It's number 0. It leads the way. It's the origo. It's the center. It's the beginning of everything in the Major Arcana and in the tarot in general. So the Fool is very important. And as a topic or as a direction card, it is about embracing the unfamiliar. So that is our topic today. There's a dilemma with the Fool that I need to mention to you here. The Fool, unsurprisingly, is also a symbol of ignorance, of not knowing, not having the information, not having the expertise, not being prepared to face the dangers and the challenges of the real world. Yet, at the same time, the Fool seems to be protected and loved by the universe. The Fool, even though he or she individually does not have all of the information that would be necessary, in order to make informed decisions and in order to be a captain of their own ship. Somehow they seem to get lucky, and they seem to be supported and guided and just protected by the universe in their dealings. So the dilemma is where the boundaries lie with this sort of attitude. Can you leave everything up to God? Can you leave everything behind and strike out on a journey that is completely new and dangerous? Can you trust yourself? Can you trust your luck? Because with the Fool, the central idea is this notion of not having anything internally to rely on. It's the freedom and the liberation that comes from not carrying anything, almost nothing. The Fool's baggage, if you will, it's quite minimalistic. And all he has as a companion is his dog. So there's a lightness to the Fool, a larger-than-life character, but at the same time someone who does not really care to build anything practical. So there's a lack of practicality, a lack of foresight, a lack of cause and effect type thinking and considerations, and a respect and a trust, a reliance on fate itself. That's the message of the Fool, and I'm wondering now how that relates to your life. So we're going to find out. So we're going to continue the reading by gauging your position or your energy as opposed to or in relation to the Fool. How do you relate to your energy right now? To this energy of the Fool right now? What does it mean in this present moment? And I'm going to have a sip of my coffee here. Just to keep myself focused and aware. So let's see. Let's see what your relation to this energy is. I want to explore and investigate your goals. So what exactly is the thing that you would like to see happen in the near future? And how does that plan, or how does that direction, that intentional direction, play into, or how does it mesh with the Fool's energy? Because, with the Fool, we have to be honest, there's a lack of intentionality. It's interesting because it's kind of like there's, I think, this concept that, if I'm not mistaken, it comes from Japanese Buddhism. It's called wabi-sabi, and it's the concept of imperfection being perfect and godlike. So the philosophy is basically suggesting that you can do no wrong, that as long as you embrace the steps that you take and full on take accountability and responsibility for your imperfections, then that's real authenticity. The kind of objects and the art that is created in the spirit of wabi-sabi is often defective, so to say, at least from the standards of this very sterile and very artificial sense of perfection. But they are perfect, their imperfections included. And so the fool's journey might be somewhat related to that. And I want to see how this energy can play together with the intentional. So what I was trying to say, I guess, is that the unintentional and the intentional, the lines are blurred when it comes to the fool. The fool wants to have an experience, a novelty, seeking adventure. The fool wants these fresh energies to enter. They have no idea how to achieve that, but somehow they always do. So the intention is there, but the plan is not clear. It's left up to the universe, fate, destiny to provide the answers. And and even if the fool has this unspoken intention of bringing this new sense of clarity into their life, they could not plan for it. They could not strategize any better than the universe can. And so there's a deep wisdom there, a wisdom of surrendering and allowing things to occur as they should, and accepting those occurrences. But anyway, let's see what is going on here. The Five of Wands and the Emperor. That's very strange. Okay. So there could not be two cards further apart from one another than the Fool and the Emperor. The Emperor, another major arcana card, represents full control, full individual, ego-driven control, while the Fool is kind of this, cosmic beggar, this vagrant who is selfless and kind of fluid and all over the place, and is not very focused internally. So the Fool is kind of, it's kind of everywhere and nowhere at the same time. While the Emperor is all about being in charge, reveling in the joy and the power that comes from being able to make decisions for yourself and for others. It's also about taking control of other people. So the Emperor is the leader. It's dominance, it's decisiveness, it's making sure that things go according to plan. So this could not be any further from the Fool's energy. And so that represents your plans, that represents what you want. You want more control, but at the same time, more chaos arises around you, challenging you. Because we have the Five of Wands as your current internal state and relation to the Fool. The Five of Wands represents a fragmentation of your energy, an internal struggle to keep it together, competitiveness, perhaps lashing out, not being able to contain your emotions at times, and just being generally kind of antsy. That's basically the Five of Wands' message. Not having that harmony, that order within. And that's why the Emperor is seeking to restore that balance, to rebuild that that sacred order. But there's some sense of, there's a little bit of violence and a strong intentionality with the Emperor. There's a forced energy to it, especially in light of the Fool. So I do wonder how we can, whether the cards could recommend a good way forward to resolve this contradiction. Because like I said, the Fool is suggesting that on the one hand, you're looking for a completely new experience. You're trying and you're willing within your heart of hearts to give up the control, to surrender to a power that is greater than you. But at the same time, your plans, they represent a very emperor-like energy, which is kind of masculine. It's very precise, very matter of fact, and is centered in the ego. And then, there's the Five of Wands, sort of internal conflict. Now, let's see what you can do in order to alleviate this internal conflict. What is the solution to this paradox where it seemingly it's like by trying to take steps towards taking more control in your life, it's like you're losing it. So I do wonder what the cards are going to reveal here as a good way forward. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's have a look. And we have the Ten of Wands. Interesting. So that's turning up the heat on the Five of Wands experience. The Ten of Wands is suggesting that in order to liberate yourself from these feelings of internal conflict and contradiction, what needs to happen is you need to delve even deeper and take on even more responsibilities. So in a sense, this is sort of like an attempt to kill the ego, to smother the ego with so much activity, so much responsibility, and so much pressure, because the Ten of Wands is the card of pressure, of stress. So playing around with your ego that way, by doubling down on the tasks, on the things that you need to do in order to become more emperor-like, it could help. What I'm seeing is that the Emperor and the Fool essentially are not that far apart. It's kind of like when you touch really hot water, the sensation in your fingers is going to be of like interchangeable with a sensation of really cold water. So essentially, the circle can be complete. You can double down on the Emperor pathway and the Emperor direction in such a way that it does not leave any more breathing room for the ego and the fears and the anxieties of the ego. So if the Emperor is if it represents a tendency to want to, let's say, control your finances or your career in a more straightforward way, then this card is saying that you can do that, but don't do it half-assed. Don't do it just partially. Essentially, I think this is saying, do not oscillate between the Fool's and the Emperor's way. Pick one and go full force on whichever you choose, because ultimately you're going to end up in the same place. The Emperor, when the Emperor is overwhelmed with tasks, with to-do lists, with favors to do for others and services to provide for others, the Emperor's ego breaks, and naturally the Fool emerges. And likewise, when the Fool is being overpowered by the Ten of Wands energy, he essentially, by a kicking in of his survival instinct, turns into the Emperor. His Emperor side naturally arises. So turning up the heat on whatever you're doing, whatever you're striving for, going the extra mile and doing even more than you thought you could, is a very good way to neutralize the ego here, because I think this is where the problem originates from. Not going all the way, trying to have it both ways, trying to have the freedom and the carelessness of the Fool, but at the same time desiring the control that the Emperor represents. So overwhelming yourself when this fire of passion and creativity and desire to be in charge and to shape and mold your reality the way the Emperor can. When you double down on that, naturally a sense of emptiness can arise. Your fears and your preoccupations with the ego can just naturally dissipate in such an environment. So the truth and the right way forward is to be found in taking action, that is for sure, and committing to your plans and going really hard to make those plans work out. And what you might find in this process is that it's not even really the imagined or desired result that is the real point of this process, but the destruction of the ego. So it looks like this is a very interesting path forward. Thank you, Andrea, for participating and for watching this video. And to everybody else who decided to follow along with us, I hope you found something interesting in this reading for yourself as well. So thank you, everyone, and I hope to see you in our next video. Bye-bye.